Hi, I'm Mark Reagan, Director of Music at Christ Church, and this is a video about music notation, and we're continuing to learn about rhythm notation and how to read rhythms. So in our last video, we talked about the idea of time signature, and that a time signature is a set of numbers that controls how measures operate and how meters operate. So if we see a time signature of 3/4, in its most basic understanding, what this means is a group of 3/4 notes, which we'll assign numbers 1, 2, 3. And then once we've completed that group, based on this, we draw a bar line and then we start over again. All right, so by this we mean this is a time signature. It's a triple meter time signature because of the 3. These quarter notes together form a measure, and this is the beginning of another measure. So first measure, second measure, and so on. And this is our bar line. The bar line then separates one measure from another. In this video, we're going to go a little further. We're going to talk about the idea of downbeat. What is a downbeat? We'll talk about what a pickup note is. And then we'll also talk about the situation where you see oftentimes in the Cantus Christi is where you see a hymn and has no time signature at all, and then how do you come to terms with it? All right, so let's talk about downbeat and pickup notes and what those are. So based on what we said before, a measure has to fill up all the notes that the time signature requires. A measure has to be filled up with all the notes that the time signature requires. So if we're given a 3/4, we would expect in the measure 3 quarter notes or their rhythmic equivalent. All right. So this measure, here's 3 quarter notes, so that works. So this one, check. Okay. And these other ones here, half note and quarter note, that's also 3 quarter notes, as are these. So these are the same. Okay, so these all meet the requirement, 3 quarter notes in a measure. What's going on here is what I'm concerned about, because we only have 1 quarter note, then we have a bar line. All right. Why is that there? It's 1 quarter note by itself. It's not a complete group of quarter notes. All right. We call that a pickup note. All right. And I'll explain exactly what that is. To get to that point, though, and why we would actually give it that name, I'm going to explain one other concept, which is the concept of downbeat. So if I'm a conductor of an orchestra and I'm conducting in 3, right, I conduct this way. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Which direction is 1? 1, 2, 3, 1. Is it up? No, it's down. All right. Conductors use this. So the downbeat is the down direction of the conductor's gesture to show the meter. In this case, a triple meter. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. All right. So the downbeat is where 1 occurs. So every time I have a 1, all right, so 1 would be here and here and here and here. And if there was music here, it would be there as well. By this, I mean the number 1. These are all number 1s. They're all downbeats. Every time the 1 occurs, that is our downbeat. All right. Now, in terms of, if we were treating this like a waltz is also triple, and it has a very strong accentuation on 1 because it's meant to be danced to, and you don't want people not being able to understand exactly where that downbeat lines up. So you 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, right? Or Oktoberfest is ba 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 ba, right? The is the downbeat, or 1, right? And the pa is not that. It would be the 2 and the 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. etc. So that's the concept of downbeat. So when we're talking about where the measure starts, it usually starts with an accentuation. And in poetry, when words are involved, usually, and I would say in most cases, you're going to find the strong syllable lining up with the downbeat. This is probably easiest discerned in this word, refuge. It is not refuge, but refuge. So the strong syllable of the word, the accented syllable, or the stressed syllable of the word, aligns with the downbeat on one. All right. That's an easy way to see that in this case. All right. So the strong syllable of the word aligns with the downbeat, the most accentuated syllable, or in this case, the most accentuated part of the measure or the most accentuated note. All right. So this is a downbeat here. And this is a downbeat, etc. This is our pickup note, all right? So one way to account for this would be we're assigning numbers here. We know that this one is 1, and there's a 2 following it, and then there's a 3 here. We actually see that 3. That in this case, the half note, the 2 is sort of subsumed into this to make it one sound. We don't have 3 sounds in the measure. We only have 2 sounds. So it's lopsided, about 1, 2, 3. All right. Using this counting, we're going to count backwards. So if we have 3, 2, 1, this is 3. All right. So this note is not, in fact, is not off doing its own thing. It is acting as if it was the 3rd quarter note in the measure, right? But we're not starting on a downbeat. We're starting on an upbeat or an offbeat, or more specifically, we just call that the pickup note there. All right. So let's sing that. We'll do it in this key. Just that much of it. And let's sing it this way. 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and count all the quarter notes in the measure. And go. 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Thank you. Yeah, excellent. Now, again, that's not exactly what we have written because these are not all quarter notes. If they're all quarter notes, we would see quarter, quarter, quarter. We see half note quarter, right? So what we're going to do is take this 2 out. So we have 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. Okay? Count it that way. So we're going to count it according to the sound, not according to the quarter note. All right? Try it again. That way. Starting on 3. And go. 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 3. Excellent. All right. Now, another way of accounting for this, and actually, I'm going to do one other thing for it. 2 is still there. Okay? Even though we didn't say it, 2 is still there. So do it this way. 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. I messed up that measure. But would you, try this. This might be a little bit of this, right? Can you snap on 2 or tap or something? Do something physical on 2, all right? Every time it happens. So a 2 here, 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 and here. All right? And go. 3, 1, 3, 1. 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. Okay, so it's still there, right? The 2 is still there. It's not that we're completely ignoring it. We're just saying it's not a part of the sound. It's a part of the counting of the measure, but it's not a part of the sound of the measure. Those are 2 different things. One thing I want to establish before moving on to the next concept is the idea that we can account for these rhythms differently. One way to do this is just we only have 2 types of notes. So we're going to call one of them short and one of them long. Then we're just going to name them that way. So we start with a short, we go to a long. right? And then we have 3 shorts in a row. Count it with me that way. Singing, short, go, short, long, short, long, short, 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 long, short. Excellent. Now, taking this understanding, we're going to apply it to a situation where, look, there's no time signature. We have a time signature here. We have no time. Does that mean that it doesn't operate by the same rules? Well, yes and no. We're going to be in the same key. Now, getting back to this concept, we're just going to apply the same naming device for this. All right, but where this one is challenging is we actually have to think down to the lowest common denominator, you might say. We're going to think down to the shortest given value of note, which is the quarter note. All right, so this is worth 2 quarter notes. This is worth 2. That's worth 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, and 2. All right, so what we're going to do is this. In long and shorts, we have long, long, short, 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 long. And then these are fast quarter notes, okay? Would you tap that or just make some kind of noise so you feel it physically? Here we go. So we're going to go short and long. Singing, ready, go. Long, long, short, 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 long. Yeah. So using that same technique, we're able to understand a melody that apparently has no time signature, and it also doesn't have bar lines for that reason. All right. Now, when we get to the end of the song, here's the same song here. Now we have whole notes. I don't have a good name for whole notes, but it's nice because we only have one sound, one sound, one sound, one sound, one sound, one sound, one sound. You need to have a 1-syllable word. You can either say the word hold or the word whole. It's a whole note after all, right? So that would be one way. It's stupid, but I mean, it works. So we have this. Long, long, short, hold, or hold, like so. But we have to keep track of our quarter notes. These are fast quarter notes. Quarter note is the shortest note we have possible, so we're going to use that as sort of our baseline rhythm. Okay? I'll demonstrate that again. It goes like this. Long, long, short, hold. I'm going to say the word hold. Okay, here we go. Making some noise, ready, go. Long, long, short, hold. All right. So in this video, then, we've covered the concept of downbeat, which is the first note of the measure. It is the first note of the grouping, in this case, the first note of the grouping of quarter notes, 3 quarter notes. Number 1 is the downbeat. A note that leads to the downbeat, right, whether it's at the beginning of the music or somewhere in the music where it has a sense of leading into it, we call that a pickup note. And then we also learn how to count this, building on the concepts of counting by applying this to a situation in which we actually don't have a time signature. Thanks for watching.